In this exercise, I'm going to show you how to do the SumIF function, or the SumIF function. So here we have some data. Here we've got a location of a health center. We've got a procedure, which is an MRI, which is like an imaging like of your brain or a part of your body. And then we'll have a blood test is something else that this location does. And then these are the dollars that they billed for each one of these services. What we want to do is we want to get the total dollars, or the sum of all the blood tests, the sum of all the MRI dollars, the sum of billed at each location. And to do that, we're going to be using the SumIF function. So what we do is we go equal sign SumIF, open parenthesis, and then the first thing we do is we have to highlight the procedure column so that it knows where to look for, what type of service was provided. And then we press the F as in for Frank button, F as in Frank 4 button, F4, and that will make it absolute, because we want that every time we copy this formula, we want to go back to the range B2 to B7. We don't want it to move down with the copied formula to like B3 and B8. We want it to stay at B2 and B7. However, we do want the type of procedure to update. So what we're going to do there is we're just going to go A11 and make it relative. And then what we want to do is we want to highlight what it is we're actually summing up, and that's going to be the dollars billed. But because we're copying that to a second location after this, we want to press the F as in Frank 4 button and press enter. And that makes sense. You see, the MRI was billed $5,000 at Orlando. It was billed $6,000 at Jacksonville, so that's $1,100. And then the MRI was billed, oh sorry, it's the blood test that we're measuring here. The blood test was $500 in Tampa, $600 in Tampa again, so there was $1,100 there, and then in Pensacola there was another blood test at $400. So $1,100 plus $400 is $1,500. Then if we copy that MRI, we billed $18,000 in MRIs. Okay, now to come up with the sum at each location, we have to go SumIF, open parenthesis, highlight all of the locations, press the F4 button, comma, and then select which location we want to total up, and that's going to be Orlando, comma, and then what we do is we highlight the dollars billed. And we have to make sure we use the F4 button on that too. And because I forgot to do it, I have to put my mouse in between each alphabetical and each numerical value. There we go. And we copy all that and drag it down. Okay, so that gives us the now I'm going to change this from procedure, some summary, to say procedure, because that's really what it should say. And I'm going to change it here in the solution as well. Procedure. Okay, and that gives you how to use the SumIF function in order to sum up values in certain categories.